Just waiting for a few people to join in. And session 2 almost start. No, no, I'm not muted, okay. I can hear myself. Okay. That's fine now, that it's working. Yeah. Um, well, in the meantime that we're waiting, maybe, I don't know. I don't know, should I talk about the track info? Or not? I don't know. Um, well, well, anyways, I'm gonna just talk about the track, even though almost no one is in here. So, um, today's Grand Prix, it's China, Shanghai International Circuit, it's called, in Shanghai. Um, one of the largest cities in China. The first Grand Prix was hosted in 2004. Number of laps 56, but it's half, so like 28. 28 laps. Circuit length is 5.451 kilometers. And I have to again put that into miles just because why not? 3.387 miles. Race distance is 305 kilometers, but obviously we half that, so it's like about 152.5 kilometers. Lap record is 1 minute 32.238, set by Michael Schumacher in 2004. Number of corners, 16. Best overtaking places are into turn 1, turn 6, turn 14 obviously. Turn 11, well, it is possible there, but it's better to save it for turn 14. As we are going into this session, our drivers have readied up to the arrest detection zones. The first one being just before the turn 12, and 13 the second snail, and then the second one just before last turn 16, and obviously two DRS zones being on the longest straight, and I think one of the longest straights on F1 calendar, uh, through or between turns 13 and 14, and then as well the start finish straight. There's as well. Um, yeah, and like I said, the best overtaking places are turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 if you... What the hell? What the hell? Okay, something has happened. Game again, thinking otherwise. The hell? The okay, I need to leave the session. Because the game is not working. Codemasters. Back. Some technical issues. Actually, not actually that technical issues. It's just the game. I mean, yeah, it is kind of technical issues, but whatever. Yeah, now it's gone. Okay, now we are. Long wait. So Q1 has started. Already 2 minutes in. Already half of the grid is out on track. Diego has spun between turns 7 and 8. More and more drivers are coming out of the pits. Noise is the first driver to start their flying laps in Q1. Actually, like I said many times before, as third spins out of turn 7, turn 6, sorry, turn 6. But yeah, like I said before, for these top 3 teams and the fastest drivers, it doesn't really matter the Q1 that much. Actually, I'm gonna put one more. So the engines are just already somewhat hearable. But yeah, Noise is now finalizing his second sector, but doesn't seem to be pushing that much. Yellow flags between turn 8. That was Reggie, who's not really. He was on a flyer, but I don't. No, he's not anymore because the second sector won 14.998, and yeah, he's slow out of turn 12 and now turn 13. Well, I guess. Oh, Joker has as well spun out of turn 7 as well. Up ahead there is Von Lewis, who has taken the escape road down in turn 12 and 13. As Noise sets it fastest lap at 148.590. Again, has spun, that is Diego. Spinning turns 7 and 8. Turns 7 and 8 are pretty tricky if you want to get the turn in. You need to have good aero if you want to do it like turn 7 flat out. Turn 8 it's not flat out in any sort of way, but turn 7 it can be done flat out if you have big aero. But then if you have big aero, then you will lose mass amount of time um, on those straights, and especially now into the main straight where Noise is right now activating his DRS. In the meantime, Matt was first, but now Tur is going P1 133.605. Albo goes third 136.305. Gregor goes 135.397. He's third. Noise out of the final corner, and he goes second 133.786. Reggie should be, he's on just exiting turns 14 and 15 as he had a big slide out of those turns. Now he's going, he actually goes into the pits, so he's not finishing his lap. Stack as well, 7th. Holtz, ooh, what is happening between Shaz and Holtz? Well, Holtz gets 5 place grid penalty. That was really weird. Like, Holtz did just blocking his shadow. Well, both of them did their times, so like none of it like affects their flyers, none of their flying laps because they have set it them. But Holtz is just blocking Shaza. Just for no reason. Holtz is just blocking, yeah, and he gets another 5 less crit penalty for illegal blocking. I don't know what is he on about. Anyways, Kravitz went 5th, 134.723. Jovi went 6th, 135 dead. Holtz 7th, 135.036. Jogger 12th, 136.324. Reggie out of the pits. I wasn't not in the first round, but as I looked in the standings, Reggie had a disaster of a race since he didn't score any sort of points in the first race. Need to get the standings. Yeah, he didn't get any sort of points, and as well Shazza didn't get any sort of points. So this right now Red Bull and AlphaTauri at the bottom of the constructors, and Ferrari on top with 40 points. As well McLaren second, 19 points. Haas third, 13 points. Williams fifth, 10 points. I skipped Alpine, who are fourth in the constructors. Nothing really changed in the timings. Everything is staying like it has. But it will change as Coke comes through the final corner. There is open, and he goes 5th, 134.696. And behind him, Luke goes 14th. Reggie is gonna start his flyer. Gemini has invalidated his time. Gravity has joined in. Diego, no, it doesn't seem that he is gonna improve. But he has to, no, Lewis is on an out lap only. Tura has retired in the pits. Yeah, and Mercedes with 7th with only 2 points. So it sort of reminds me of this year's season in the real world, that Red Bull did not score any points. AlphaTauri was pretty much the same, as well the same thing, and then Ferrari were just at the top. Haas were third, so it can change. It may happen the same as it happened in re real world, that here is it's gonna be a big fight between Reggie and Noise, then well, I'm not saying that it's gonna be a sort of like copy paste, but it can change like this is the same way that Ferrari were leading the constructors going into the third round or even fourth round, but then at the end of the season, just they fall back. George is eighth, 134.996, and Reggie goes second, 133.685. As he drifts through the turn two. Not really much happening. 7 minutes to go. George is improving through the first sector. Ahead of him there was a Williams spawn that is no, that was Gravity. Sugar goes wide out of turn 13. Wait, who was I looking at? George. I forgot who was I looking at. Matt has retired in the pits. Holtz has been disqualified for going the wrong way, so well, his grip penalties won't even go into this race anymore. As George spins out of turns 14 and 15, he hit the wall, and now he has front wing damage. Gravity is now starting his time as he had a big slide coming out of turn 16. Up ahead of him there is a Haas of Diego who let him through off road, or at least he didn't block him. That's good, but maybe it wasn't the best ways, but he let him through, and I don't think he caused any sort of trouble. Well, Gravity can look at it at a different point of view. Shesa has as well started his flyer. Alabo 10th. Stack is starting his lap, I think, or his second lap. Although the ERS usage is not on, so he may as well go into the pits. No, it is on, okay. That's Graffiti is letting the drivers through. So he messed up his time somewhere in the lap. 4.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Gemini apparently sets a new fastest second sector, 53.905. Yellow flags in the main straight, that is Gravity going slowly, and Spark, no, Albo. But it's not gonna be any sort of issue for Gemini. Yeah, Gravity let him pass through easily. Gemini had a big lockup, I think. Sheza goes P1, 133.384. Gemini now comes through the final corner, and he goes slow, 135.399. That's 2 seconds above the leader Shaza. So there's quite a big of a gap between the other drivers, like between first and second. Gregor has retired in the pits. As there's a toss spawn, that is Diego, who still hasn't set a time. He's the only driver to not set a time. Well, Gravity did, but 2 minute 22. He hasn't found improvement in the first sector. Diego again spinning out of turn 9, 10. and the gaps. As well, Shaza almost stopped on outside of turn 9. 8, sorry, 8. Um, has Gravity? No! Gravity again. Ooh. It was interesting. Coming back to the track. Luckily there was ghosting, but it wasn't the safest ways to come back into the track. But he spun on the exit of turn 10. It doesn't seem that he has any damage. Well, from this camera we can't see, but if I remember the image is right, I don't think he had any sort of damage. Which is at least a good thing. Diego still hasn't started his flying lap, as he will start this flyer now. His tires will be, I don't know if cold, but like they will be a bit dirty from all of that grass, and his car is in all dirt as he spins out of turn 1. And with 1.5 minutes to go, I don't think he can actually do a lap or do a second lap. I think maybe his tires just maybe overheated. Well, Gravity went faster than Diego by 4 seconds, so it is fight for 18th place. Reggie as well out on track. He's trying to set a better lap as he comes through the final corner. The air is open, and now through the line he goes P1 133.277. So this right now Red Bull 1-2, but this is only Q1. Coke as well on a flyer, on a second flyer. Behind him there is F1 Lewis as well on a flyer. But we'll look at Coke. Comes to the final corner, doesn't invalidate, and he goes 5th, 133.829. And now behind him F1 Lewis out of the final corner goes 13th, 135.145. As Jogger has crashed out of turn 9, there he lays in the wall. Diego is out 18th, only 148.229. Gravity doesn't have fuel. He comes to the final corner. Is he gonna be ahead of Diego? He is gonna be ahead of Diego, so at least 18th. Luke is improving 6.5 tenths to the second sector. He could knock out Gemini out if he finds more time in this final sector. And now he comes through the final corner. Now he doesn't invalidate. There is open, and it is 14th, 135.349, and Gemini out by just 2 thousandths, just only 2 thousandths of a second. Fonless is not on a lap. Coke as well not on a lap. He doesn't have any fuel. So G1 is done. Reggie P1, Shaza P2. So this Red Bull 1-2 in first part of qualifying. Tur is third, Noise fourth, Coke fifth, Matt sixth, Kravitz seventh, 4 cents behind Matt. Pretty impressive in the Haas. George 8th, Sparker 9th, and Jovi closes the top 10. And outside of the top 10 is Albo 11th, Stack 12th, Von Lewis 13th, Luke 14th, Gregor just only making it in, as he retired in the pits, taking a gamble, and Gemini just could not find those two 2000s in his flyer. So he is out. Jugger 17th, Gravity 18th, Diego 19th, and Holtz, who has been disqualified, and he got many grid penalties. Yeah, two of them. So he's gonna start last. I think there's some grid penalties. They said so. And in second part of qualifying, it is wet. It is wet. It is for the intermediate tires. It might get more rain as the time um, goes further. I don't know what I was trying to say. But many drivers are going out now as fast as possible. So I think this might say that more rain is coming, so drivers need to set a time as quick as possible. Everyone will want to be first to start the times, as Sparko and Luke are kind of finding out into turn 6. But Luke is first right now. Lewis has spun even before turn 1. But it is George still in the pit, so he's gonna be the last driver to start the time. But it is raining. Duh. But I think it is raining more and more. I think Coke is really desperate to start his time first, but Luke is having none of it. He is trying still to be the first man to start the times. Traction is gonna be very crucial in here, as many already on the dry, very difficult places to get on the power, but now there are even more difficult places, like, well, the first corner, or, well, basically the whole circuit. But Luke has started his final flying lap first, not final, as Noise has spun on the exit of turn 16, so his exit out of the last corner is gonna be horrendous, and that could lose him two tenths, 3 tenths maybe, but that 3 tenths is a bit too much in my opinion. But anyways, but yeah, if I'm indicating right, there is more rain coming, as Luke is letting drivers through. He didn't invalidate his time though. He's just letting drivers through. I don't understand. If there's more rain coming, then you should be just doing your time whatever you got, even though you made a mistake. Well, anyways, Coke is gonna be the first rider to finish their times, as he comes now to the main straight. No problems for him. No one has spun on their times, luckily. As Luke is letting more and more drivers through. Now Coke through the final corner, and he doesn't go wide, and now he comes through the line. He goes P1 145.765. Behind him, Gregor goes second. Shazak now goes second, 145.891. Gregor went 147.731. Reggie goes first, 145.433. Noise fourth, 146.025. 0, sorry. Matt now goes second, only 4 thousandths ahead of Coke. Spark goes 7th, 148.1. Albo now drops down to 10th, 148.5. Stack 148.6. Luke 159.4. As the track, I think, gets worse and worse, and there's even more rain. And I think I see some puddles creating. So I think George goes 7th, Kravitz 6th, F1 Lewis 8th, turn 9th, as he's off track. Ooh, that's a bit close. That F1 Lewis would take a turn. But as the rain is, I think, coming much heavier now. As I need to take a, yeah, I think it is coming more and more. I don't know if, but I don't know, I don't have any, like, not sure, as Kravitz doesn't have his front wing, for some reason. Yeah, no, he doesn't have his front wing, for some reason, as we still get this camera. Come on, yeah. Now we got this, yeah, so, for some reason, Kravitz doesn't have his wing, as he, ooh. Kravitz and Von Lewis are racing into the pits as they make contact, and Lewis, ooh. Okay, and F1 Lewis doesn't have his front wing. I know, he has actually. I know, so that was a board, like the pit board. But that was weird. Anyways, I think the rain, I still think that the rain is coming heavier and heavier. I don't know. The rain just seems that it is coming much heavier now. But that, and as well, the times don't look that they are getting better. So this might be the final results. But there's still Matt who is going out on track, just as well, and AlphaTauri ahead of him of Stack. Maybe I'm just, or maybe maybe it just looks like that it's raining much heavier and the puddles are creating, but actually it's just staying the same. The conditions are the same. I don't know. Maybe I'm just high. No, that was a joke. I'm not taking any drugs or anything. I'm not taking vape. I'm not one of those kids. Or teenagers, whatever. And but it doesn't. Well, Giovi is the only driver to set his time, as he still hasn't set one. Right now, 5 drivers are in danger of not going in. Are Alabo, Sparko, Luke, Stack, and Jovi. Gregor is in, or the driver to potentially be out as well, as he's 10th. And if he could improve his time by at least 3 tenths, then he'll go 8th. If he wants to improve even more, then he needs to improve his time by half a second. Yeah, half a second. As Gregor through the first sector is not improving, and George through the first sector is improving. So maybe I'm just looking weird, maybe, or looking weird. It doesn't even sound right. Well, anyways, maybe it's just that it just looks like it's raining heavier, and the puddles are creating, but it actually they actually aren't. As Joby now comes through the line, he goes 10th, 147.674. He pushes Gregor down into the danger of not going into Q3, as he isn't improving his second sector. He was 6.5 tenths, I think, down on his time to the second sector. George, well, you can't look at his time now. No. Yeah, Gregor is not improving. As through the final corner, he goes straight, so he's not finishing his lap. Behind George was improving through the second sector, but he's not finishing his lap. Matt through, well, we can't see anymore if he's improving or not. Tur is not improving to the second sector. Well, I guess it is mixed. Well, it is a bit mixed because some drivers are improving, some drivers are not. So I guess the conditions are the same. I guess. As behind Matt through the line isn't improving. I guess he made a mistake on his lap. Stack coming through the line, no, 2 seconds behind. F1 Lewis as well not improving. No, he's just only started. Sparko as well, just only starting, I think, his time. As well, Tur, I think, started his no. I don't know. Luke, I think he's gonna start his flyer. It's just full ERS. Yes, he's just only starting his time. Behind Shaza as well, just starting his time. 2.5 minutes to go in this Q2 session. Albo not improving to the second sector. Kravitz not improving. Tur has invalidated Matt. I don't know. I can't tell. Stack. No, we can't see. Ooh, Luke has crashed out on the exit of turn 6, and he's out of qualifying. As we will take a look on the onboard. No, we can't even see, but well, we're gonna check where he crashed. He crashed. He's somewhere around there on the exit, I think. Somewhere around there. So Luke is already out of qualifying. As ahead, there is Matt going slowly. He didn't improve. Stack to the line hasn't improved. Behind him, there's Lewis, who hasn't improved. I think Stur as well spun on his lap, or not on his lap, but like a cooldown lap, I guess. And now he is gonna start his lap. Gregor has invalidated his time. or maybe this. I don't know. George hasn't improved. Sh Shazan not improving. F1 Lewis has retired. But the main thing, he has retired on track. He has retired on track, which is a bit weird to do so. Um, but only few drivers need to improve the times by like a second at least, or half a second. If you're Gregor or Jovi, then half a second. If you're third, then like 2/10. If you're like Albo or Sparko, then a second. If Stack, then 1.5 seconds. As only 5 seconds to go in this qualifying session, Albo only goes 10th, pushes Jovi out, and he's only in the pits, so he's out as well. Both Alfa Romeo's out. Gregor wasn't improving through this through the second sector. He was down only two 3 thousandths as Reggie has retired in the same place as Luke did. He recreated Luke so we can see where he retired at the same place, and the exit of turn 6, so he's out of qualifying as well. Gregor through the line, he goes 9th, pushes Albo down to 11th. Albo still could improve his time, but he had a big slide. He's not improving anymore on his time, but if he could gain like 3/10 somehow in this third sector, yeah, and he's the only man who can actually cause Gregor to go down or back to 11th. Snoise comes through the line, he goes P1, and Reggie, even though he has retired, no more he's first. Coke has gone second, George third, but we go with Albo. He had a big slide coming out of the last corner, and he stays 11th. But Reggie, Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3 champion, out in Q2 as he crashed out on the exit of turn 6, so he's gonna be starting 10th at least. Well, there are grid penalties to be applied for some drivers, which I don't know. I haven't looked, but that is now Ferrari 1-2 in Q2. George 3rd, Matt 4th, Tur 5th, so it's still looking good for the Mercedes drivers as well. Shadow 6th, Kravitz 7th, Lewis 8th, Gregor 9th, and Albo 11th, Jovi 12th, Sparkle 13th, Luke 14th, and Stack 15th. So only 9 drivers. Only 5 driver, 9, sorry, 9, will be driving in Q3. At least that's how it should be. At least how my brain works. Yes, only 9 drivers out in Q3. Only 9 drivers in Q3. As it doesn't look to be raining, it looks that it's still wet. Some drivers are thinking to go on the inter, some drivers are thinking to go on the softs. Maybe some drivers on the softs will wait, so that these conditions will dry up. But some drivers are thinking to just go out now, as Gregor and both Mercedes drivers do so. to just go out, set a time right now, and yeah. Um, um, yeah, everyone out on track who are on Inters. So both the Ferraris and Shaz are thinking to go on the softs, but they're staying in. They're just trying to wait that the track is gonna dry up. It still looks wet, but it could change within these 5 minutes or 6 minutes. Then if it's like, well, 7 minutes. If it's gonna be like in 7 minutes, if it's not gonna be, if it's gonna be like on the crossover, then either they're gonna go save on the inters or go risk it and just go on the softs and pray that that the softs are gonna be warmed up, and as well that that it's gonna be that the softs are gonna be faster. As the first race are now starting their times. Like I said, everyone out on track are on inters. Gregor has started his time. Both the Mercedes drivers have started their times. George is now out on track. Holtz has left the session. As I remind you that there's gonna be a session restart because of the grid penalties that other drivers have. Yeah, Lewis as well has started his time. So only Noise, Shazza, and Coke have stayed in their garages as Holtz comes back to the session. Fastest second sector now. Fastest second sector for Tur. Apparently, I still don't trust that the purple sectors on the map thingy. As Lewis, what are Lewis? I don't know. But Gregor now into the hairpin. Turn 14. Turn 15 now, and now the last corner. Comes through the final corner. He goes wide, but he somehow doesn't get invalidated. He goes P1 behind. Matt he did get invalidated his time. Now comes to the line. He goes provisional pole position 142.165. Regular drops down to second 43.819. Kravitz now comes through the final corner. He comes to the line and he goes second 142.212. That is only half a tenth behind Tur, and he's in the Haas. Tur is in the Mercedes. Reggie leaves the session already, so he's going to be making the session. Lewis only fourth, but he made a probably, I guess, big mistake as his time is only 149.037. Shazza is already out on slicks, on softs already. George as well on the softs. I think that they may have gone out a bit early, but as well they might just try to do 2 laps, not on the same compound of softs though. They're trying to do a second lap, or like this lap, like an out lap, flying lap, in lap, then again, or in lap to the pits, then out lap, fast lap. I think they're trying to do like that. As Coke as well is out on track, Noise as well out on track. Now these people or drivers who were on the inters, they're gonna go now into the pits as the track the track is dry now. This track just only can get can get drier and drier as Shaza now starts his flying lap, and DRS gets enabled, but Shaza didn't get DRS while he was starting his time through the start finish straight, so it can set him back like 2 tenths. As through the first sector, he'll obviously go on this lap fastest, as obviously the softs are faster. 15.5.6 I think. I remember the first sector. I can just check. Actually no. The game doesn't allow me. As George as well now started his lap on the soft. Shaza through the second sector, 53.952. Obviously fastest second sector, I know that. That is true. Weirdly enough, there was yellow flags in the sector 3. There was a noise going slowly, just making a gap between himself and Coke. As Shaza now through the hairpin, George invalidated his time, so he can just now go back into the pits and change his softs. But now Shaza will come through the line, and he will obviously go P1 134.838 through as well now out on track on the softs. Kravitz is still on the inters. Well, he's in the pits, but his chosen tire is inters for some reason. Lewis as well comes now out on track as Tur lets through Shaza, who is improving on his time already. 4 tenths already. And yeah, on the used tire he's already gaining that much time. Here's the tire degradation, especially on the softs, is very high. So starting on these tires is gonna be it's just gonna be a bit. It's not gonna be the best idea, in my opinion. As it is the second sector, he lost like 1.5 tenths. As Coke and Noise they go back into the pits, so they're gonna be changing their softs. As now everyone is on softs. Shaza now runs out of fuel, so he's gonna go back into the pits. Tur, he will probably coming through the final corner. He will start his final flying lap, I think. As well, he doesn't have enough time anymore to go back into the pits and change his softs. Out of him there's Gravitz, who might give him a bit of dirty air. In this game, dirty air, it's not that significant, but it can give him some. As Gravitz is still not looking to let him through. He only lets him through now for some reason, very late. That was a bit unnecessary to let him through that late. But anyways, as Matt's going slowly, as Tur spins it on the exit of turn 7, or going through turn 7 and 8, he spins it, and now he has to, well, he needs to do a lap on these used softs. He has no other option. Does he have enough? Yes, he does have enough fuel to set a second flyer, but the tires are gonna be very much used, pretty much like heavily used, since the tire deg around Shanghai, it is quite high, especially on the softs. And here even uh, the tie attempts are crucial to keep them low. Um, yeah, as it is quite crucial to keep them low. Lewis obviously improving through the second sector. Well, everyone is going to be improving. Well, besides third, but he spun through corners 7 and 8. Only half a minute to go. You obviously want to start your time as late as possible. Shazza may not make it because he's going slowly. Lewis now on provisional pole position 134.287. Gregor did not improve his time, I don't think, or maybe he has invalidated his time, so his final time is gonna be that to what it is on the live timing. Um, Coke has managed to start his time last. Um, and Shazza is gonna have to stick with this time 134.838 as the track is getting better and better. Kravitz improving by 5 seconds. And now who to look at? Matt is coming through the line. He goes professional pole position 133.752. Noise did not manage to start his time, so he's going to be starting 9th provisionally uh, before the grid penalties. Travis now comes through the line. He goes second only. Now he comes through the line. He goes P1 on the used softs, 133.639. Lewis is not improving. Kreger is not, because he has invalidated his time. I didn't mean only for Kravitz. Well, I thought that he maybe could get mad, but I guess that tank is holding him back. George comes through the line. He misses out on third. As Coke comes through the line, he goes pole position here in China, 133.399. So that is Ferrari on the pole position, and Mercedes on the first and second row as well. Kravitz 4th, George 5th, just 8 thousandths behind Kravitz. Lewis 6th, Shazza 7th, disaster for Red Bull. They'll be starting 17th and I think 15th after the grid penalties. Gregor 8th and Noise 9th. As well, I can't really leave right now. I can't really leave right now. I have to leave later than that. Yeah. Oh, it is snowing outside. Finally. Yeah, but everyone on topic. Cause what am I supposed to say? Yeah, as I can now leave now. Because we have to change the things, yeah. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know what did I try to say. Just a bit of what's off topic. join in. Why the hell am I getting so many notifications? I don't know. Those are just invites. Humans in the background. Hmm. Na, 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 na. Well, yeah, I'm mousing in the background because I'm checking Discord. I'm checking Discord for some new for updates, I guess. Well, what is going on? Because I heard that there's some grid penalties. So I'm checking if who has those grid penalties. Well, now I know that it's Reggie. That's what I know. I need to check them. Mm, mm. Yes, Reggie has a. Mm, it is either 3 grid pen on or 5. I don't know. Okay, that's full grid. It's full grid. Everyone in. Just Diego hasn't chosen his car for some reason. Hallelujah. I'm just waiting for Diego has ready it up, but he doesn't have a. He hasn't picked a car. For God's sake, man. Okay, now he finally picked this team. So I think we can ready up. Or no, because the grids need to be done. The grids need to be done as well. Forgot about them a bit. Dun, 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 dun. people nowadays. Well, I don't know. I still have to wait for the grids to be done. No, Matt says that ready up. No one has ready up. Okay, now we are readying up. Or we should. But are the drivers gonna? Yeah. I see in the Xavi saying Forza Ferrari, Forza Ferrari, coke and noise in the Ferrari, 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 Ferrari. Yes, Ferrari. As we are now going into the race, hopefully the game doesn't do the same as it did in last or in qualifying. I guess it doesn't. Canon comments. I don't know why did he join. I don't know why did he join. I mean, it doesn't matter. He doesn't get a car because there are 20 drivers. He can only spectate with me, and he left. Okay. Another comment. um, let me just check these because why not? Who do you think will win? I don't know. Well, Reggie's starting 15th, so well, he would need to pull a masterclass if he wants to win. I think Coke is starting first. Well, I don't know. I need to look at the grid who's starting first, but I think Coke or one of the Mercedes, or maybe Noise. Either a Mercedes or a Ferrari. Well, Reggie winning. Well, he's starting 15th, and well, in the mix, well, he's starting 15th, so anything can happen there. Well, also the same for Noise, but uh, we need the restart. For God's sake. Oh, Matthew, dumb. Bro, doesn't. Da, 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 da. Well, you say Noise. Well, I'm not. Well, yeah, Noise could win as well, but ooh, F1 Lewis disqualified. Luke, Sparko, both Williamses. Um, well, like, yeah. But yeah, Noise could win it. Either Coke, Matter, or Noise. Well, now since, well, I don't know if it's getting restart or not because neither Reggie or Shaza is setting anything. Well, now he said something. I don't know what is going on. I mean, to be honest, well, I'm a commentator and it doesn't affect me, so it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, it is a restart. So I don't know why are people leaving. We can, like, just retire. Well, more and more people are leaving. So, beautiful. Be Guys didn't see it. Like, but now we have to wait again, like 15 minutes. I'm just, yeah, no, I'm just now just messing with my mouse. I'm just messing with my mouse because I'm bored, and I can't listen to music. I can't listen to music. Diego, don't take so goddamn long. I'm not gonna sing Poland's anthem. I'm not gonna sing it. I would maybe do it when I would be alone at home, but no, I'm not gonna do it. What the hell? Oh, we went actually. Okay, finally we've gone to the race. Okay, we have finally gone into the race for the second time. Now let me just check that the grid is good. If I remember. Yeah, and Diego lost. His problem. Diego lost, his problem. We don't care. Yeah, so we should be going into the race now. Hopefully. I've heard that the qualifying is gonna be on broadcast mode. We will see. Yeah, it is formation lap, but
the formation lap gets underway,
yeah,
and
it is.
every driver will be looking to settle in.
Shut up. Don't take away my goddamn. Don't take away my goddamn place. Hey, what the mate? Bro, Alex took my job. Bro, Alex took my job. What the? Alex took my job. I can't talk about the goddamn. Mate, he took my job. You can't. For God's sake. I got to. Bro, it took my job. Well, goodness me, and there's a message. Well, most of the drivers on the median, besides Matt, Luke, and both of the Williamses, as the lights are not going. Now they're going 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and lights out, and away we go. Here in the Chinese Grand Prix, Kravitz get a monster of a start. Now ahead of the both Mercedes drivers, F1 Lewis as well got a brilliant start, and behind there was some contact between Shaza and Tur. Shaza is already up to 5th, Gregor up to 7th, Noyes up to 8th, but he's still fighting with with these other drivers. Reggie already 10th from 15th. What a start by him as well. Noise already 8th. But he's still getting attacked by Joey and Reggie. Reggie as well, up by 1 place. What is happening in the midfield? Tur just doesn't have any sort of grip as Joey into the barrier. But Noise is already up to 6th, overtaking Gregor into turns 9 and 10. But Reggie as well already up to 8th. Coke kept his lead, kept his head cool, and he's already 1.2 seconds out of Kravitz. But Shaza is now attacking Matt and Lewis, who is defending the inside line pretty aggressively. At the back, Jogger has retired, and this has caused a virtual safety car, so we can cool things a bit down. Diego has gained as well 10 positions already. Sparko 5-second time penalty, as well as Holtz I think has a 5-second time penalty. Safety car is the same. Yeah, Holtz as well has a 5-second time penalty. George in the pits, he started 5th, now he's already 18th, and he will drop down to 19th eventually. Kravitz up to 2nd after his beautiful start, overtaking off the line both the Mercedes drivers. Lewis as well the same, but as well overtook Shaza, who overtook 3 drivers as well. Matt dropped down 2 places. It was kind of expected on his hard tires. Noise gained 3 positions after starting 9th. Reggie started 15th. He's already 7th, so he could be actually in the contention for the win in this Chinese Grand Prix, as the race has now been restarted. At the back, Gemini has spun on the exit of turn 10. Shazak could be overtaking Lewis going into turn 14, as both of them are using much of the ERS, but Shaza looks to have better straight line speed as Lewis outbraked himself, and he's down to 4th, and Shaza already up to 3rd. ERS enabled, but it's not gonna be in here for these drivers. Gregor trying to overtake Tur going into turn 1. Tur just doesn't have any sort of grip, as he was starting 2nd, now he's 8th. So he has lost 6 positions. At the back, Holtz has overtaken Diego up to 10th, but Holtz still has his 5-second time penalty. But Diego as well had a brilliant start from 20th. Just gaining the positions that the others couldn't, fighting other drivers, and just didn't get any caught up. But behind Luke, there's quite a bit of a train of few drivers. Actually, it looked bigger, the train, but Coke still keeping his head cool, and has already almost 2-second gap between himself and Kravitz. Kravitz as well having a really good race, being 2nd in a Haas, and Shaza just couldn't catch up to him for this main straight DRS zone, as Matt has been overtaken by both Noise and Reggie, but Matt still keeping it side by side with Reggie. Now going into the last corner, Matt will probably keep his 6th place, as he was on the inside. Coke new fastest lap. Reggie could somewhere here into turn 1 and 2, maybe 3 even, switchbacking Matt, but Reggie is now in the Mercedes sandwich, as Tur I think almost hit Reggie, almost, but luckily nothing happened. Reggie could if he gets a good run into turn 6, dive down inside, but he doesn't. He gets a now better exit off turn 6, but obviously into turn 7 and 8 you can't really overtake that easily. See, so he might need to wait until the DRS zone. And Sparko overtakes Diego, who himself went off track, and Diego is already down to 14th place. Gravity at the back has spun turn 7. Shaza will have a DRS on Kravitz. Noise has catched up to Lewis, as Jovi has retired on track turn 7 and 8. Again, another from a spinning. Meantime, Reggie has overtaken quite easily Matt, going into turn 8, 14, sorry. But up ahead, there was Noise and Lewis, who had gone side by... I can't even speak right now. But Reggie has lost his 6th place. Now he's down in 8th, behind both the Mercedes drivers. Let's kind of recap this. So, while we were on the board with Reggie, out of him, there was Noise and Lewis, who I think Noise just sent it into the first corner, or to the hairpin, and then they went wide. Reggie tried to make a to capitalize on that, but just he lost the rear, and now he's down in 8th. Meantime, Shaza, I think Kravitz did a mistake on the exit of turn 6, and now he's up to 2nd. But now Reggie has to fight again. The both Mercedes, as F1 Lewis had a big moment on the exit of turn 10, and now they're going 3 wide going into turn 12, as Reggie has been thrown off track a bit. But that 3 wide was never gonna go well, but it went a bit better, as Reggie's trying attacking F1 Lewis on the outside into the hairpin, as now Lewis kinda sends it on Tur as well. Again 3 wide between them, now it's only 2 wide, but Reggie again has to... Ooh! Tur, what happened with him? He has lost the rear going into last corner, and now he's down into 11th, 12th, and even probably 13th. No, he's not gonna be into 13th, but he's already down in 12th. He's lost the rear going into turn 16, the last corner, and he just went off track. Meantime, Reggie has successfully overtaken F1 Lewis going into the turn 1. At the back, Luke and Gravity having a bit of scraps in the into the snail. But Luke overtaken, I think, successfully, but Gravity could send it into turn 6. Luke defends the inside. Gravity trying to go around the outside, maybe getting a better traction on the exit, but Luke still keeps it. But he has missed apex a bit, as up front Sparko has spun, as well as Albo has lost the place to Tur, but Sparko has spun going on the exit of turn 10. Up ahead there is Tur, who has spun on the exit of turn 13, and even more up ahead Reggie has successfully overtaken Matt going into the turn 14. So now Reggie is gonna try and hunt down Noise. Up ahead, Lewis spun on the exit of turn 14. How many spins are there gonna be? Sparkon and Stack fighting for it for P12 into the hairpin, or turn 14. As well at the even more back, Gravity having many problems and going off the turn 14. Well, Shaza has caught up a second to Coke. Now there's fighting between Gemini, Sparko, Gemini, Tur, and Stack. Stack has lost a place to Turn. Now Gemini and Sparko, they're gonna be side by side into turn 6. Gemini tried a switchback on Sparko, trying to get a better exit, but he couldn't get it, so Sparko keeps his P12 for now. Gravity resides in the pits. Better than just crashing into the wall on purpose. This is at the moment the only fight right now. They're trying to overtake Gemini going into turn 11, and he made it successfully. So now he's P13. As Sparko had some problems on the exits of turn 12 and 13, and Sparko is not gonna get any DRS. Albo has spun on the exit of turn 13, but Sparko doesn't have any DRS. Reggie new first lap, but Sparko still keeping quite close behind Tur, going into turn 14, and now 16. He's still quite so close, but not close enough to even dream of a move into turn 1 and 2. But Noise has caught up to the 1 second on Kravitz. Obviously not now, he's not gonna have the DRS now, but onto the main straight he's gonna have the DRS. As the grid has calmed down a bit, as Holz has 5 seconds, as well as Sparko and Stack, they have 5 seconds. Diego has 3 seconds. The driver who has gained the most positions is Holtz with 11. Then Reggie and Diego come with 10. And then it is Shaza and Noise with 5. The most lost places, it is George with 12. Then it is Tur with 9. And then it is Albo with 5. And then it is Matt, F1 Lewis, and Luke with 3. As at the back, Stack has a lost rear on the exit of turn 13. He has used to reset the track. As a bit ahead, Spark and Gemini are fighting for P12 as well, more at the front. Noise has spun into turn 1, as well as holds around the outside of Gregor, and he made it successfully. So he's now up to P7, but now Reggie is up to 4th. Noise could have got some damage. I think that may have been a contact between Kravitz and Noise, but it could have been as well that Noise just went too hot into the first corner and he just lost the rear himself. But I don't. But we will see later on in the FIA. What am I trying to say? I don't even know. As Shaza has caught up to Coke, lap 9 only, so the race has been a bit slower right now. As there are the yellow flags, that is Luke crashed out on the exit of turn 10. That is a safety car cost, and Coke and Shaza are screwed right now because they're on the mediums and they're right now behind a safety car. So Kravitz could be right now potentially in the lead out of Reggie. This is a terribly timed safety car for Coke and Shaza, who have been basically kind of dominating this race as of right now. Coke has led every single lap, and Shaza has been quite close to Coke this whole race. There's some well, obviously a bit of scraps or position changes in the um, in the pits, as George doesn't come into the pits for hard, so he is gonna be up to 11th. But this is as well a terribly timed um, safety car for Matt. As he was on the hards, now he will have to probably get these mediums till the end if there's not another safety car. But like I was saying, this is a terribly timed safety car for Coke and Shazar, who missed the pit lane, and they have missed the pit lane, and now well, they weren't so much ahead. They were already past the safety car or the safety car, the pit entry. They were already so far ahead that they missed the pit entry, but they went so far ahead that they would have been ahead of the safety car, so they're not screwed. So they either now come into the pits, which probably they will, and they will drop down to basically last places. Yes, they do come into the pits as they're trying to fight it into the pits. Well, they're going side by side into the pits. Who's gonna be first? It is Shazza first. So Shazza got Coke. Bit controversially. In the pits. Controversially a bit, but well, it is allowed in the real world, I think. But they're now, anyways, they are now down in 12th and 13th. So it's a bit of a bad thing for them. But a Haas in the lead. I'm not sure. No, I'm not gonna. But basically now everyone is on the hards besides Matt, which is not. I would say that it's not the best thing since it is lap 11. So it is like 17 laps, 16 laps to go. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Man, I might just close my laptop, so I'm not gonna be distracted by the Discord. But the Zetka is still not in. As for now, 4 drivers have been retired, and those are 2 teams, Alfa Romeo and Williams, are already out of this race. Safety car is in this lap, quite late call by the FIA. As Stack has caught up to them, as now Kravitz has to think fast as he goes now. So the race is restarted. Kravitz is still leading. Sparko has overtaken Gemini, but Reggie sending it down inside into turn 1, and he's now up to P1. Kravitz has been eaten already down in 4th. So that is Reggie up to P1, Matt 2nd, Noise 3rd, and that is F1 Lewis Tur, but at least F1 Lewis and Tur down in 15th and 16th. Coke trying to gain as much place as possible, as well as Shazza. They're already up in 8th and 10th. Coke trying around the outside of Diego, going into turn 7, now up the inside of turn 8. and he made it successfully for now. So both these drivers are now up in 8th and 9th, so they have already quickly gained positions up. Matt has to use those mediums as much as possible right now, because, well, he needs to use them, but as well, he needs to keep that gap between himself and Reggie under 1 second, as Albo has been overtaken by George long before turn 14, as George made a bit of contact with Gemini, but they're still going side by side going into turn 15. Now 16, Gemini is on the inside. They're going side by side as they make contact, and Gemini is spun round by George. Gemini had as well a pretty good race. Albo now sending it down inside of Stack, or Stack maybe just, oh, Stack has a really bad internet for now, as Stack has been a bit sent round. Well, Stack has pretty bad internet right now, so not so you have to give a bit props, or not props, but just give it that. But Albo send it up the inside of turn 6 on George, and he's now up ahead. Coke has overtaken meanwhile Shaza somewhere. I didn't see that, but there's now close to Sparko, about 4 times behind Sparko. Sparko as well has to bit of think about what he's really fighting for, as Sparko has a bad exit of turn 13, and he's already been overtaken by both of these drivers. Now Shaza has better top speed, has more ERS than Coke. So now Shaza sending it up the inside of turn 14. Sparko trying to send it somewhere as well. Coke now up the inside of turn 16, and he has kept his 7th place for now. But Shaza now trying to go up the inside of Shaza going into turn 1, but Coke switchbacking Shaza beautifully as they made a bit of contact going into turn 2. I think that was just hard racing, that low contact. I don't think that gave any damage to Shaza. But Reggie now comfortably leading this race. Matt second on his mediums. He has, well, I think he just has to now conserve his mediums so they could go, at least think about going to the end on these mediums. Then later on Noise and maybe Kravitz, they could think about overtaking Matt into the last parts of this race, as now these two drivers, Coke and Shaza, they have, Holtz has retired, or has spun, and now he has retired on track. Bit dangerous from him. But Coke and Shaza, they tried to overtake Gregor around the outside of turn 12 and 13. They couldn't make it though, as the DRS has been open, or has been enabled. So now turn 16, Gregor goes a bit wide, so Coke will get a better exit. Coke gets the DRS open. Maybe he could think going up the inside. No, he doesn't. But then maybe around the outside. No, he does actually go up the inside of Gregor, going into turn 1 and 2. Gregor will now push him, or force himself to go side by side with Coke. But he failed to undo that as he hit Coke, and that has promoted as well Shaza up to 6th. I think there was no, I don't think there was any contact between Shaza and Gregor, but there's as well Coke and Shaza up by one place. These two drivers are right now on fire, as Reggie's 3rd. and Matt is first. Reggie made a mistake somewhere, and he has lost his lead to Matt. What has happened to Reggie? I think he just made a mistake somewhere on track. Maybe just a bit too much on the power, and now he has to fight for P1. Meanwhile, Sparko has half spun through turns 12 and 13. But Matt doesn't seem to have the greatest pace on those mediums, as well as there's fighting behind. Diego has been, I think, spun round by some of these drivers. Maybe Albo, maybe Turn, maybe Stack, but Tur has overtaken Stack going into turn 16. Diego trying to as well overtake Stack going into turn 1 up the inside. As I don't know, they don't make any contact for now. As Diego goes a bit wide, Stack trying to go up the inside of turn 3. Now turn 4. Stack is up ahead, but Diego gets a better exit of turn 4. So Diego is right now ahead of Stack, but Stack sends a dummy up the inside of turn 6. But Diego didn't make a mistake into turn 6. So Diego, as right now, keeps his 11th place. Tur trying to overtake Albo somewhere in here, or maybe just try. Maybe he could overtake him going into turn 11, or maybe he could overtake him into turn 14 as Albo, since a strategic move to get the DRS on Tur going into the main straight, and maybe re-overtake him as up ahead. Noise sends a bit of a, or tries to send it up the inside of Matt going into turn 14, but Matt didn't make a mistake, and now, but Noise, I think, got a better exit of the last corner. He has the DRS. He had a great run, but he just couldn't make it. He tries up the inside of Matt. There's a bit of contact, but luckily Matt didn't get spun. But who did get spun is Sparko on the exit of turn 15. Now Matt has a bit of a relief through this sequence of corners. Now turn 7, 8, 9, 10. At least those 4. Maybe Noise could send it into turn 11. I don't think so, because DRS is not as powerful, but it is still good. So, and the Ferrari engine is more powerful than the Mercedes one, and as well, the Red Bull is better than the Mercedes one. As Noise is only 3.5 tenths behind Matt. This could be time that Noise takes the lead of the race. The air is open. Matt tries to defend the inside, but he can't do anything. Behind him, Reggie comes through, goes up the inside of Matt. They're still going side by side. Noise is up ahead, but Matt still keeps his P2 though. But Matt gets a really bad exit. He got a big slide. He went a bit aggressive on the curb. He lost it, and now Reggie is up to P2, and that is a safety car. Once again, Sparko has crashed out through the turn 7. That is once again a safety car, but this time, luckily, these 3 drivers are actually 4. I think they just about got ahead of the safety car. So now 10 laps remaining. Either they could go on the mediums if they have any. If they went for the softer tire when they were choosing tires, they could choose either. If they have gone for the balanced one, then they could think about going on the mediums. but if they want on the softer, then well, then they only have softs if they didn't use it, if they have fresh ones. As Gemini gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under a safety car, so well, his race is destroyed as he can't serve his drive-through under the safety car. So, and if there isn't another safety car, then his race is ruined basically. But now we will. Well, Gemini was on the softs. The others who pitted are on mediums. Now, what are the top 3 drivers are gonna do? Are they gonna stay out? They are gonna go into the pits. Okay, so they've done the one decision. Second decision, are they gonna go are they gonna go on the mediums or softs? Matt desperately tried to overtake Reggie into the pits. They all gone onto the mediums, but as Matt tried to overtake Reggie in the pits, he got a 5-second time penalty. That is Diego leading. So 2 Haas drivers are now leading, or two Haas drivers have led a race this season already. Kravitz and Diego. That's what I know. I haven't commentated Bahrain. So Diego is currently leading this race. Matt is ahead of Reggie. Reggie could be angry at Matt, just why did he send that? And then the fact that Matt got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, which, well, he can't get off. He can't get it off because, well, he spent in the pit lane while he tried to overtake Reggie, so... but this as well allowed Sheza and Coke to close up to the grid. But Sheza is ahead of Coke. Which we were too much focused on the top 3. Yeah. Well, Diego is gonna be eaten. Maybe not literally, but eaten by the drivers behind him, as the safety car is already in this lap. So now Diego is going to be controlling the pace under the behind, not on the safety car restart. He has to get those hearts as warm as possible, but as well the drivers behind who are on the mediums, but they're better to warm up than the hearts. But safety car is in the pit lane already. So where is Diego gonna do the restart? He's gonna do on the exit of turn 16. So the race has restarted already. Noise already trying to overtake Diego around the outside of turn 1, and he makes it successfully. Matt as well trying to stand it up the inside of Diego. He makes it successfully. Now Reggie trying around the outside of Diego on turn 4. He makes it as well successfully. Behind Shazza spins on the exit of turn 4. His race is as well ruined. He has as well front wing damage. Coke is already up to P6. Diego down in 6th already. Albo 7th, but really good restart by the top 5 drivers. Diego is almost getting attacked already by Albo going into turn 9. As well behind Tur has overtaken Gregor on into turn 10. Now 11. Gregor is still somewhere there, but he has already made the move done. As Albo has spun on the exit, Tur almost or barely gets through. Reggie has overtaken Matt going into turn 14. Albo down in 14th and Shaza down in 13th, but Shaza has front wing damage. Gregor down in 9th already as he is getting a bit attacked by Lewis. Those George I think going wide. Stir is already as well up to P6. George up the inside of Diego. He made the mistake. Now Gregor up the inside, as well as F1 Lewis trying to get up the inside of Diego. Now on the exit of turn 3 and 4. A bit of contact between him and Diego on the exit. But going into turn 6, he sends it up the inside. But Diego, is he gonna get a bit of... No, Diego doesn't get the switchback done. Got them notifications. As Shaza has pitted for softs, he can just do a fastest lap, rob the fastest lap. Gemini, did he do his drive-through? No, he hasn't done his drive-through yet, so he has to do the drive-through still. As no, nothing much happening. Well, Diego is gonna get overtaken as well by Stack, but up front, DRS is still not activated. Reggie has less ERS than Noise, but Kravitz and Coke, they have caught up to Matt, so Matt is in danger. Well, he has his 5 second time penalty still. Reggie new fastest lap, but Matt still has his 5 second time penalty, DRS enabled. So basically, he needs to get a 5 seconds ahead of Kravitz and Coke, which for now, well, they're under 1 second behind him, both of them. Well, Coke barely keeping in that 1 second behind Matt, but obviously Coke is behind Kravitz, so by just a few tenths. But Coke doesn't have any ERS. He has already used he already has used all of his ERS. Kravitz has 30%, Matt 50%, Reggie only like 25%, Noise as well around 50%. So Noise has the advantage of the ERS, but Reggie could just either overtake him, some already going into turn 14, as Albo has retired on track, but he only pressed the button, I think. But we don't care about that. Reggie, with the DRS, has catched up massively to Noise, but still can't make the move done. Now going into turn 16, Noise still ahead. The gap between himself and Reggie, half a second. Lap 23 out of 28. Noise still in the lead. Gregor gets a 3 second time penalty. Matt as well, still keeping his third position. But Kravitz and Coke, they know that they don't have to fight Matt. They have to just fight between themselves. I mean, obviously, if Coke wants to somehow close up to Reggie and Noise, which I don't think he has space, but he sends it going into turn 6. They made contact, and Coke is up to P4. Now this is a bit of a chance for Matt to escape from the DRS zone that Coke and Kravitz had. Now he just have to pull off that 1 second gap, which is easily there, as it is already over 1 second between himself and Coke. Coke still doesn't seem to be having that DRS. No, he doesn't have the DRS. So Kravitz will have the DRS, but did a bit of a moment on the exit of turn 13. Kravitz has activated his DRS, but he doesn't have almost any of his ERS, neither Tur or Coke. As Kravitz almost made contact with Coke. Reggie has closed up to Noise, but still can't get close enough to Noise to make the move done. He tries up the inside of turn 1 and turn 2, but he can't make it. He's just still a bit too far back, as Coke has caught up a bit to Matt, but Coke still has to keep the reminder that Matt has the 5 seconds, because Matt has sped in the pit lane, so he can't get that removed, or unless he somehow finds evidence that Reggie pushed him, even though, well, Matt tried to overtake Reggie in the pits. But Reggie has kept the gap between himself and Noise pretty low, only 3 tenths between them. Now on the exit of turns 12 and 13, it has grown to 4 tenths, but Reggie with the DRS and with the left of the ERS, he is trying to go around the outside of Noise, going into turn 14, but Noise still keeps the lead for now. Turn 16, they're almost, Reggie is almost to his gearbox. Reggie once again, DRS open, and he doesn't send it for now, but he tries to go around the outside, but he still can't make the move done. He only has 3 laps remaining to do so, or actually 4, because there's 26, 27 and 28, so 4 laps remaining still. Coke still hasn't overtaken Matt, but I think he still keeps in mind that... What has happened? Turan and Kravitz, they make contact, I think, and they just went... What has happened? Well, Turan and Kravitz, they make contact, and they got 10-second time penalties. Or I don't know. Or at least Turk got a 10-second time penalty. Kravitz got, I think, 2. I don't know. That's for FIA to do. But no. But Reggie, he's closer. He has gotten closer. Noise a bit weaving, but defending his position. Noise, and the same thing happened again. Reggie tries to do a switchback, but he can't do so. Now once again, Reggie is close to Noise's gearbox. He tries around the outside of turn 1 and 2 probably. He will set himself up the inside of turn 3. He makes the move done for now, but Noise has the inside for now. Now Reggie will have the inside. They made a bit of contact, but Reggie is up to P1. But Noise could send it into turn 6 if he really wants. He sends it up the inside of turn 6. But Reggie, I think, gets a better exit of turn 6. So Reggie has kept his lead. And Noise is down to second place. So Noise has to keep himself behind Reggie for like at least 4 tenths. 3.5 tenths. Reggie gets a 3-second time penalty. Noise has to just keep himself behind Reggie with that 3 seconds. So Noise doesn't have to actually overtake Reggie. But if somehow Reggie could get one of the warnings removed somehow, he could keep the lead. Get notifications, for God's sake. But I don't know what to talk about. Man, these notifications, man. So Coke has caught up to Matt, but I think still Coke realizes that he doesn't need to actually overtake him. He doesn't need to actually overtake him. But if he really wants to get into that 3 seconds of Reggie, which I don't think he could, as Gemini has spun on the exit of turn 10, which, well, I don't think Coke has the pace to do so. And it's like, well, to Reggie it is 6 seconds, so I don't think he could actually pull it off. Turk currently P5, Kravitz currently P6, but both of these got, Turk got a 10-second time penalty, and Kravitz got a, who knows, I don't know, like, I don't know how many penalties did he actually get. He has 11 seconds, but before that I don't think he had any penalties before that. But Noise still somehow still keeps the DRS, or he's in that DRS gap behind. Coke has caught up massively to Matt. Neither of them have any ERS. Noise still has the DRS, so Reggie has started the final lap of this Chinese Grand Prix. If Noise makes a mistake that is worth 2 seconds, Reggie could win this. But if Noise doesn't make a mistake or get that 3-second time penalty, he will win this. But obviously, if Reggie somehow finds a way to get one of the warnings off, so he would win it. Coke still behind Matt, but I've said many times, Coke doesn't need to overtake Matt. Matt has 5 seconds, which he absolutely deserved, because spinning in the pit lane. Reggie though, well, he gained 14 seconds, 14 places throughout this race. But it's gonna come down to the penalties probably. Reggie has upped the pace, or Noise has just calmed down. He doesn't need to actually push right now in this lap. Both of them using all of their ERS that they don't have anymore. Reggie now going into turn 14, and now exiting turn 15. And now the last corner. Reggie comes to the final corner. He wins it on track, but Noise with penalties wins the Chinese Grand Prix and extends his championship lead. Coke finishes third. Matt finishes fourth. Then I don't know what the hell is gonna happen between Tur and Kravitz. But for now, George has finished fifth. Gregor is gonna finish 8th. F1 Lewis is gonna finish 9th. Stack is gonna finish the top 10 in 10th. Diego is gonna finish 11th. Shazza is gonna finish 12th after his spin on the second safety car restart, and Gemini is gonna be 13th after, well, he had some decent pace, but a drive-through penalty caused him to just be like the same as Shazza, just not fight anymore for anything. Fastest lap, it is, no, wrong thing. It is Shazza by quite some margin. 1 second. Gemini now comes to the line, and all of the drivers have finished their late races. Noise finishes this race P1 once again and extends his championship lead over many drivers. Reggie, I think, or either Noise, with the drivers, no, what am I saying? Driver today. Well, yeah, Noise is gonna get the 25 points once again. Um, and Coke is gonna get even more points in the standings. Reggie finally gets him as well more points for the championship because he's now fighting. It is for now between himself and both of the Ferraris. Noise is gonna keep the lead, and Coke is gonna be second in the championship. And in the constructors, Ferrari are gonna um, get are gonna go away with it even further. Um, but it's gonna be still McLaren second, and I think Haas is gonna be quite some close with Red Bull. But yeah, but it was even though Reggie missed out on the race because of his 3 second time penalty, he still, in my opinion, deserves the driver of the day. He gained the most positions, and he was on the contention with on the win um, half of the race after he catched up to the pack. As well, a pretty good comeback from Coke after starting first and fighting with Shazad. Then an unlucky safety car that they missed the, the pit entry, but as well that the safety car just was ahead of them, so they were stuck on the used mediums as behind them drivers were on the fresh hards. Um, I know that you said to me that Noise is gonna win. No, I'm not gonna sing Polish Anthem in live. But anyways, I'm gonna hop off now, as pretty much everyone will, because F1 real life qualifying it is now. So I'm gonna go now. So see you next week in Imola, where there is gonna be a